Hi, my name is Suzan McDowell, and welcome to another episode of In the Circle with Suzan, my biweekly show where I get to talk to a bunch of wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people who I find interesting. So, it's almost December. I don't even understand. I feel like I'm still in 2024, but here we are in December. You know, they say the years are long, but the days are long, but the years are short. So we will be in 2026 in like 5 minutes. So I'm hoping that everyone watching this show has had a good 2025. My 2025 was better than my 2024. So I'm very grateful for that. But I'm also looking forward to a very prosperous and happy 2026. So I hope you are all going to have a fantastic Thanksgiving. Tomorrow is Thanksgiving. I am grateful for my daughter. I'm grateful for my company. I am grateful for my family. I'm grateful for the studio. I'm grateful to be able to have this kind of platform at all. So today we are going to go to my guest, the beautiful and talented Metris Batts-Coley. Hi, Metris.
Hi, Suzanne.
Welcome.
Glad to be here.
Good. By the way, I'm late because I'm Metris.
Yes.
Just so you know, I'm late because I'm Metris, but it's okay because I'm late a lot. So anyway, Metris, we are going to start this show like I always start the show. You were born, and then what happened?
Well, I was due to be born on Thanksgiving 1969.
Aha!
So my family tells a joke about when I was actually born, which was December 24th. My aunt told my mom she would cook Thanksgiving dinner because she knew that she was going to go have that baby. Mm-hmm. Well, the baby didn't come. I'm a Christmas Eve
You
baby.
were a month late?
A month late.
1 month late.
A month late. And my father always said he knew what he did when he did it, and he knew when I was supposed to be born.
So your mom thought she was pregnant before she was pregnant?
They're not here now to clean it up, but that was his story.
45 weeks?
30 days. Well,
That's
back then.
44 weeks.
Well, back then.
That's a lot.
They didn't measure, but the story that I was told about my birth was my aunt cooked
dinner. The urban legend.
The urban legend. She cooked Thanksgiving dinner because she knew my mom was going to have this baby.
Gotcha, right.
Well, the baby didn't come. The baby came Christmas Eve. So I'm a Christmas Eve baby.
Wow, that's a lot because Christmas Eve is a little bit of a rough time to have a birthday, don't you think?
Well, I've never really had birthday parties because my birthday is Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
All the jokes that went along with being born on Christmas Eve. You get a toy, one shoe wrapped up in a box for your birthday and the other shoe for Christmas. So all those things, not being able to have the birthday parties at school with your friends.
Oh, because nobody's
Christmas.
there, yeah.
Or someone says, oh, well, we would have got you a gift, but we had to go Christmas shopping for the family.
Yeah, we're going to get you a gift tomorrow.
Yeah, all of that. But I think it's great that I was born on Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm. That's great. I mean, you're in the company of, you're in good company.
A lot of people were born on Christmas Eve, but also it was 1969 and lots of things happened. My name is Metris, and this is the urban legend. Okay. My family will stick with it. Uh-huh. My name is Metris because I was named after the Mets. The Miracle Mets in 1969, and I was born in New Jersey.
Okay.
And
so wait, the Mets, and then the wrist part is...
Well,
they just were trying to find something that went with Mets.
My father's name is Arthur, and they enjoyed the Eagles, so it could have been Eagleette. Okay, but I will settle for...
You're going to be happy with Metris.
I'll settle for Metris. Man landed on the moon in 1969. The Miracle Mets won the World Series in 1969, and Flora had a baby in 1969.
Yeah, your mom's name is Flora?
Flora.
My BFF's Flora.
Okay, well, she's wonderful.
She is wonderful.
So that's where it started.
And so tell me about your parents. I mean, other than the fact that they like the Mets.
My parents were part of the Great Migration North from the Carolinas.
Oh, wow.
We are certified Geechees from the coast of North Carolina to South Carolina.
Geechees. Interesting.
My mother's family's from North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina.
Oh, wow.
The home of the Black Pearl, the home of Atlantic Beach, the home of the Black Bikers, Black Bike Week in South Carolina.
Yes, of course.
I grew up with that. Those were my uncles.
Do you bike?
Yes, I bike.
You do bike?
You know I bike.
All right, we're going to get back to that later.
So my family's from South Carolina, so I spent my summers on my grandmother's farm in South Carolina working in tobacco. My work ethic comes from working on my grandmother's farm.
I bet.
They operated 3 tobacco barns. We didn't do cotton, didn't do rice, but working in tobacco, collard greens, okra, corn.
What does that mean, working in tobacco? So, what does that even look like?
So tobacco is green, and it grows out the ground like a stalk. And you crop tobacco, so you go through, and each week you take the leaves off. So you have opportunity to crop, which is working in the field, and the opportunity to hand and string, which is curing it at the barn. So back in the day, you did it by hand. If you look now on videos, things, you see the commercial tobacco barns where they take bales. But back then, in the way that our ancestors did it, when they were working in tobacco, were stringing by hand. You had a trailer, you had 2 tobacco sticks on each side, and you had 2 handers. And people would hand to the stringers to string. So I grew up on the tail end of seeing what hard work really was.
Wow.
And how families made a living. And interesting enough, this was even before like child labor laws. Like there's things you but there's,
You're like 7.
but there's things that you grow up seeing but you don't know what it is.
Yeah. And you don't know you're too young to do it.
Right. So back then everybody worked for my grandmother and her brothers.
Oh, wow.
The neighbors, because that's how they got their school clothes.
Your grandmother was an entrepreneur.
My grandmother was an entrepreneur.
Go, girl.
So that's how everybody got their school clothes. There's a time came when no one that wasn't related to us could work in the fields because child labor law changed.
So now you could give me 8.
Well, then you couldn't work at all because, you know, as an 8-year-old, you were working in the fields.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So
Child labor, like, was that 12, 13?
Well, you had to be 14 or 16.
Yeah.
And so back then, I was 4, and they were 7, 8, 9, picking beans, doing different things like that. So I saw that shift, but didn't know what it was. I just knew that my friends could no longer come play with us. We called it play, but it was really work. Come play with us in the fields and work. So I grew up seeing that, but also, I also at the same time went to an all-girl private school in New Jersey. Interesting enough, I never was able to attend the first day of school because that was the last weekend of harvest in South Carolina. So we would get dropped off in South Carolina in May and picked up in September.
Wow, for that last crop.
For that last
And then
crop.
you can go to school.
And then you can go to school.
In New Jersey.
In New Jersey, which was Labor Day weekend, which was also our family reunion. And it was interesting that when I tell my story, it depends on what story you want to hear. I could tell you that I went to an all-girl Catholic school for 13 years, Villa Victoria Academy, and I'm not Catholic. I can tell you that I spent my summers abroad in South Carolina and then some summers abroad in Europe. Abroad. It depends on the story. So my parents, my mother worked at a daycare center. Then she became the director of the daycare center. And it was called the New Approach Method to Reading.
Oh, wow.
And it was Hooked on Phonics before Hooked on Phonics had a name. And all I knew is I grew up seeing these amazing Black people in her network. My father worked for Urban League.
Oh, wow.
He also ran a group home for girls. So all I knew is I saw these amazing people in our house all the time. Didn't know who they were, didn't know why. I remember seeing buttons that said, "Vote for Shirley Caesar." Shirley Caesar, the gospel artist,
Shirley Chisholm.
Vote for Shirley Chisholm. I remember just like these amazing people being around. And even the daycare center was called NAM, the New Approach Method. It later became Little People's College. And they used to celebrate Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday before it was a holiday. And that was their fundraiser every year.
Wow.
The mayor would come, and that was the fundraiser that everyone came to every year.
They were like the advanced team.
They were the advanced team.
Yeah.
So I get it all, honestly.
So is that why you're an activist?
Yes.
It's because you grew up like making stuff happen?
That's what I saw.
Wow.
It was not by choice.
Yeah.
Even though my father said, you can go to school you can get a degree, anything that you want, except for being a preacher, teacher, or social worker.
Why?
Because they don't make any money.
Preacher,
that was his thing.
Teacher, social worker.
Well, today preachers make a lot of money. But that thing was, you can go to school for business. He said, don't make the mistake that I made. My father went to St. Augustine's in North Carolina, HBCU. I didn't go. And he said that he changed his major from accounting to social work. He said that he had
That's really no money.
He said that's why he drilled in me, you're not on my dime, you're not going to school for that. He said he wished that he had kept his major in accounting and wrote the cause a check. Because the cause needs checks.
The cause will break you.
Right, the cause needs checks. So in there, and he was saying his rearing of us, he was always very clear on planning and what we should do. So as much
How many of you?
My sister and myself. My oldest sister passed before I was born. Her name was Norma Jean. My father got married later after my mom passed, and so then we had a blended family, but we were already adults. So that was a whole different thing.
So you're kind of an only child.
My sister, she's 10 years.
You have another. Okay, I got you.
She's 10 years, 10 months and 2 days older. She reminds me older than me.
Gotcha. She's older than you.
She's older than me.
I'm perfectly happy with that. My sister's older than me, and I'm like, she's older. She's older.
I'm proud of her. She's older than me, and she takes care of me. She looks out for me. A lot of my friends know my sister. She spends a lot of time here in South Florida, especially going to Jazz in the Gardens.
Jazz in the Gardens.
That's our family thing. So just
baby. I've raised 3 things in my life: my kid, Sydney Hannibal, my business, Circle of One Marketing, and Jazz in the Gardens. Those are my 3 babies.
Well, thank you for sharing Jazz in the Gardens with us.
You're welcome.
That became our sister-husband weekend. My sister and her husband comes down, and we go every year. It didn't matter who was on top billing, we would go.
Jazz in the Gardens. It's a vibe for real.
That was that. So growing up, seeing what I saw, but then also going to a Catholic school where you have the mission boxes and you're praying for everybody and you're helping everybody. Yeah. As much as he said, don't do that, my whole world was revolved around.
And when you're in Catholic school, because I went to 2 Catholic schools, it's like, dear Mother, dear Grace, pray for our sinners now, the hour of our death. I mean, you learn this stuff. It's rote. It's over. It really is repetition and consistency. So you get out of school, you just, you're on the pew.
Yes.
That was your life.
But what you can probably recognize, that I recognize, when we're in fellowship with others and they get ready to pray and we genuflect and we do the alpha and we are in motion, they look at us and say, well, how do you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like you ain't Catholic.
Well, how do you know?
It's like, because I did this my whole life.
How do you know?
Yeah.
So that has been probably an issue or a thing most of my life. Having the Black Southern roots and being an important part, a real deep country Southern part of the Southern migration. Then my parents moving to the North, going through what they went through in the Civil Rights Movement, hearing about those stories, then going to an all-girl Catholic school, but spending my summers in South Carolina.
That's a juxtaposition.
So
that's great, though, because you learn both.
I learned both.
And you learn to be in both worlds.
And my
father, very, very useful.
Yes. My father said that whatever they teach them in class, they're going to teach you. Oh, I thought that was off.
What does that mean?
That in the classroom environment, so they grew up doing segregation. The equity in education was not the same. So he said, we're going to send you to the best school because they can't pull you out of class to teach you something different. Okay. You're going to go to school and what they learn, you're going to learn.
Gotcha. You're in that class. Yeah.
I'm in that class. Yeah. So
they're not pulling you out to pick anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So then I ended up going to a private college in Rhode Island, Johnson Wales University for business.
Johnson and Wales University. The same as the one that
used to be here. And I used to work there. That's how I came to Florida. Oh. So I went to Johnson and Wales University. I thought I was going to go to Spelman. I went to an all-girls school, and I was like, I might as well go all the way through. And I wanted to be a psychologist. And my guidance counselor said that I probably wouldn't pass the final exams because I wasn't that bright per se. Yeah.
Was this a non-Black
Of course.
Counselor?
Of course.
That tried to tell you weren't smart?
Mrs. Lavery, she said that I probably would not pass the test-taking skills.
Why?
So what I found out, which was really interesting because my parents paid for me to go to that school, I found out later, they found out later that I have dyslexia.
Oh, wow.
So it wasn't that
neurodivergent.
Yes. It wasn't that I couldn't, it's just that I learned differently.
You learn different. Your brain works differently.
So when I got to college, I struggled through certain classes, and certain classes carried me all the way through.
You probably thought you were stupid. People thought,
I thought
they called you stupid.
Yeah.
They're like, how come you can't get this?
So I was called stupid. I was called black. I was called fat. Whatever it was, I was called. In college, it gave me an opportunity to figure some things out because I knew what I was good at and I knew what I wasn't. So I stayed, which is the same thing. I'm sorry, I thought I turned that off.
Just keep going.
So I balanced things out, and I graduated from high school with a C plus.
A solid C plus.
A solid C plus.
Me too. I graduated college with a solid 2.6.
Right.
Right in there.
So I made it into college. We talked about SATs. You know they give you 200 points for just putting your name.
Just for putting your name down.
On it.
I actually think it's 400 points. But whatever, you get points for just
whatever it was.
Putting your name down.
So my SAT scores weren't that great, but because I was involved with student activities, I played basketball, I played softball. I was in the school choir. Can't even sing.
I know, but you're quick.
Yes.
You're quick.
So to be able to adjust, I was able to pass the entrance exam in the interviews to get into college. Did that. It was an amazing experience because now there were boys in my classroom. And I was like, wow, can I touch you?
I love them
so college in Rhode Island, to me, it was like a different world. Like really, because it was that vibe.
Maybe, from South Carolina to New Jersey to Rhode Island.
Yes.
Totally different.
But in college, although it was a predominantly white institution, my world was black. Like it was literally like watching a different world. We started our Black Student Union. I met people from islands I didn't know exist.
Oh, wow.
From St. Martin, Trinidad, Jamaica. Like all these students came from there. I met a whole bunch of people from New York. Yeah. And we're still friends today.
That's why college is so lovely because you really get to. The thing I love about college is you're free and somebody else is paying for it.
Yeah.
You're free and somebody. I worked through college too, but for the most part, like I had a Pell Grant. My dad paid for some of it. Right. Really, I was free, and somebody else was paying for it.
Right.
Just like
so that was really exciting, but also in college because I was a mama's baby and daddy's girl. I would call them and ask them, could I go out on Friday night? And I would call them when I got home.
You know what? That's an embarrassment.
My dad was proud.
Embarrassment.
Yes. My
You're
first
supposed to be like,
I did, but I would call them and say.
Call them and go, can I go,
Yeah, I did. And he was so proud. And then after a while, I was like, if I go, he won't even know.
Won't even know.
But it was okay because they was footing the bill. I got an allowance. I had work study. Still maintained
So you're a good girl.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm going to change the names to protect the innocent. I was a good girl. I still had a C+ average. I was able to get into graduate school because of my community service, because of my friendly appeal to people. And the dean of the university called me in. He says, I understand that you want to go to graduate school. And I was like, yes. And he was like, I'm going to sign off for you to get into school.
At least he didn't try to talk you out of it like the other lady.
He didn't talk me out of it. And then I became a graduate resident director. So I didn't have to pay for graduate school.
Oh, wow. See?
So I had learned how to study.
Really somebody else paying for it?
Junior and senior year, I had learned how to study and was able to graduate with my master's with a 4.0 because I figured it out. Yeah. And then thought by that time I now had 3 degrees. I had an associate's in merchandise buying, a bachelor's in marketing, and a master's in organizational leadership. Wow. With no work experience.
Wow. You know, it's so funny because I interview a lot of people and it almost never fails that who you have become really is somehow related to your parents.
Yes.
It's somehow related to, like when Mayor Levine Cava was here, she told me her dad was a New York City councilman and her mom was a social worker. Yep. And I look at her, I'm like, of course. And so you, of course. Wow.
So my family, when they see the things that I do, they was like, just like your mama. Or your mother would be proud. Yeah. So just looking at like where I went to school and what it meant. And then on top of it, when I moved to Florida to work for Johns Hopkins University, it only lasted 6 months.
Grand opening, grand closing.
I got fired.
Been there.
And I got fired for something that had nothing to do with me. And it was hard because all 3 degrees and all of my theoretical knowledge came from the university. So to get fired from the university
that have given
me my
wow.
So I knew it wasn't my fault, but when it finally came out and they realized it was somebody else was the I Spy, it wasn't me, it had nothing to do with me. It worked its way out. but the weather was great. Why would I leave
Why
Miami
would you leave?
to go back to, after college, I went to Boston. Why would I leave Miami?
Sounds like Dexter Bridgman. Dexter was like, why am I going back to New York?
Yeah, why would I leave? So I stayed. I ended up going to apply for unemployment and going to the unemployment office and saying, well, I could do what y'all do. Y'all hiring? And they was like, well, actually, we are. So I started working for the Department of Labor, and it was temporary. It was called OPS. It was temporary employment. And they placed us at different schools with the School to Work program. Ended up working at Miami Beach Senior High School, and then learning the School to Work programming. From there, got into the state as a permanent employee, but I kept getting rolled on. And rolled on means that when they're doing layoffs, people with seniority can come and take your job. So every 6 months, somebody would say, oh, I want her job. And after a while, I was like, I'm tired of this. I can't get my foot in to get comfortable because somebody's going to take my job. Ended up leaving there, went to the American Red Cross, and then ended up taking a part-time job at the Village South, which is a substance abuse prevention center, part-time, but it was closer to my house. And it was that opportunity to make as much money there as I was.
And not get fired every 6 months.
And not get fired. So I went to there, and that's where I honed in on my community outreach skills, working with the community, working with HIV and substance abuse. This is where the motorcycle stuff comes in. Started doing an HIV charity ride back in 2009 with the biker community.
That?
Yes, that one. With the motorcycle community.
Yes. That thing.
Yes, that thing.
Okay.
So started doing that. Then I was the condom lady, doing education, making sure people had care packages, talking to children, well, young people when they would go off to college. Their parents would say, "Can you come talk to them?" Because I can't have that conversation. So having those conversations, showing up at community events, doing things like that. Worked there for 10 years. Ended up going to Empower You, just community.
So stick a pin, or here we are. So that's how I met you.
Yes.
So I met you because we were working with the Underdeck, and you used to just cuss us out just all the time. We're gonna yell at them, which is okay because it's part of the process. And we were working on the Underdeck, and you were the loudest one, and you kept us on task. So I want you to know we were afraid of you, as you well know. But you kept us on task. Every time you were like, pow, pow, pow. It made us jump more. It made us higher. It made us hone our craft. I was grateful for you. I mean, I was annoyed. But I was also grateful because I learned a lot from you. I learned about Overtown. I learned about what Overtown, how you felt. I learned about all the history that I had only read about. It wasn't until you started yelling at me. I was like,
I wasn't yelling at you.
Okay, you weren't yelling at me. It was theoretical yelling.
It was the passion.
It was passion.
And so in my connection to Overtown is Trenton, New Jersey. Trenton, New Jersey and Overtown are identical communities. Wow. And my involvement with Overtown was when the Duns Josephine Hotel opened up. Opened up fabulous, booked and busy.
Beautiful hotel.
Booked and busy for Jazz in the Gardens. The Super Bowl was here. It was on and popping. Then COVID hit.
Oh.
And we closed the doors.
I remember. I was there.
And the very skill set that I acquired as being a resident director, working for the Red Cross, doing HIV counseling and testing was needed. I turned the hotel into a quarantine isolation facility with a contract from the Homeless Trust.
I remember. And you worked with Carvalho on that, didn't you? Yeah.
So it was interesting. So Kristen was like, come to this meeting. So I went to the meeting, and then it was like, well, she wanted them to take over the hotel because everybody was trying to figure out how to pivot.
Yeah.
And they was like, we don't do direct services, we hire out. She was like, well, I don't know how to run no shelter. And I was like, yes, you do.
Yes, she does, because she's going to keep us alive.
Yes, you do. So I said, we have the skills to do that. So I wrote the scope of service for that contract, and the contract was for 18 months. And it was a paid contract. And it was a major pivot because it was opportunity, number one, to believe in my skill set and what I could do.
Yes.
To have a paid.
And prove it.
Yes.
For a year and a half and get paid.
And get paid. And be able to take everything that I've learned and everything that community knew to bring to the table. Now, interesting enough, on the emails, everybody, please read the emails when they don't blind copy so you can see who is on the email. I was interacting with people who knew me from my work in HIV and substance abuse, but didn't know who I was as a hotel operator. So some of the things that they were saying and some of the things that people who didn't understand residential drug treatment were saying probably felt the same way you felt when I was educating you on how this should work. So we had an opportunity to fine-tune and improve some things. Like initially when they wanted to bring food, they said, okay, we can get food. And they would bring canned goods. Well, you're bringing them to a hotel. So we need to figure this out. And so what we were able to offer as an idea is cooked food. So Chapman Partnership provided the cooked food and brought the meals. And it worked out because we were not the only hotel turned shelter. So they provided all the food service from that. We also did wraparound service for telehealth. It created a whole model that I was used to in a new environment, which was great.
But you had the skill set.
With the skill set. So for once, all of those little jobs, all those getting fired, all those things made sense. It afforded us an opportunity after that was over to buy a property in Rocky Mount, North Carolina.
Oh, lovely.
Called Advent on Falls.
Nice.
It's a 9-bedroom.
This is Kristen and you.
Yes.
Got.
9-bedroom, beautiful
lovely
home in a historic neighborhood.
So a bed and breakfast.
It's a bed and breakfast.
And you still own it?
Yes, we do.
Yeah. And where is it at?
Rocky Mount, exit 141 off 95.
North Carolina, right?
Yes.
Oh my God, I own a property in Plymouth.
Okay.
Plymouth is like, what, 30 minutes from Rocky Mount? I've been to Rocky Mount.
Do you fly
I
into
fly to RDU and then drive.
Yes, same thing.
What?
Same thing.
Oh my God. Yes.
And so it pivots. So the money from that contract was put to good use to be able to get that property up there. So along the way, along with the social services stuff, I've also learned hospitality. But also, Johnson Wales University is the #1 or #2 hospitality school, depending on who you're talking to. So you cannot learn some things when you go to school with people who are in the hospitality field. There's always a phone call away when you have a question about something. But also, in that environment, when you go to a university that's a food service hospitality university, everything is a part of that experience.
So you learned the whole 360.
So I learned stuff that I didn't even know.
Wow.
And even when I became the CEO of the hotel, my friends were calling. They was like, well, Metris, how can you? I said, how can I not if I'm friends with chefs who own restaurants? I have a friend, Anthony, is up in Martha's Vineyard. He has a whole restaurant up there year round. I have friends who have owned restaurants and hotels all around the world. How can I not understand this industry? We was hanging out together for years. We did more than just party.
Yeah, I know we learned.
So we learned. So that part was there.
So tell me about the Overtown Business Association.
So I was just minding my own business, just trying to help out. Just trying to help out as a board member. I joined the board in 2023. The Overtown Business Association was started in 2014.
Did Andre start it?
Andre didn't start it. Pastor Williams and Jackie Bell are on the initial paperwork. Pastor Williams, who owns Just Right Barbershop, the Smoothie Shop.
Oh, yes. We love him.
He is the founder.
Such a good. Willie Williams, right?
Yes.
He's a good dude.
Yes. He is the founder of the Overtown Business Association. So the combination of different community people happened to keep it active on SunBiz all those years. Andre came in and tried to revive it, and he was on his way. We had an opportunity to meet with some people in Opelika because Main Street America was coming to Opelika. I know you smiled because you love
know
Opelika.
that I know.
So they came
part of it.
Came to talk about the Main Street model in Opelika. So the Antoine from the Overtown CRA invited me to come to a meeting. Went to the meeting, and they were talking about the work they've done in the community, and they mentioned the Main Street model. Well, I was familiar with the Main Street model because of Rocky Mount. In Rocky Mount, I wanted to purchase the bicycle stations. And I called the company. They said, you have to have a checklist. It says you must be a Main Street designation. You must be this, you must be this.
So you had to get a Main Street designation in order to get those bikes.
Right, but I didn't get the bikes because I didn't understand the process. But Rocky Mount is a Main Street designee. That was my first hearing about Main Street. And I said, it makes sense because if you follow this model for Main Street, then it'll put you in alignment for all the things that are going to make it successful. So when I went to Opelika, I was able to do their commercial because I was just so excited that they talked about it and I knew what it was. Then we borrowed them for 6 hours and took them into Overtown.
You did what?
We borrowed them because they had a break in their meeting day.
Oh, okay.
And we said, come down to Overtown.
You went, look. a bird. And he went all the way south.
So said, come. We went to Little Greenhouse Grill. We went to the hotel, and we walked the neighborhood. And organically, the work that's being done in Overtown was built right.
Because it was built on a solid model.
Everybody's 2 cents, everybody's dream, everybody's idea made it say, okay. Now, the interesting thing is Dr. Dorothy Fields did an application for Main Street 24 years ago.
I believe you. She's been at it for
24
a long
years
time.
ago. So they were able to look at her application and look at the work that was being done and say, we would grandfather you in as a Main Street.
Because she had done all that work.
Because she had done all the work. And when you look at the work that she did and look at the evidence of the infrastructure that was there, it made it easy for us to resubmit the application and begin to do the work. You have to have a full-time executive director to apply for grant funding.
That would be you.
That became me. It wasn't me initially because I was the secretary. I was whatever positions you needed to fill. And that's one of the things when we're working with nonprofit organizations we need to get a better understanding of the board member roles and responsibilities. So I applied for the executive director position because I have the experience, but also we needed a full-time person to be able to apply for funding.
The funding, gotcha.
So that was the primary.
That was the reason. Yeah.
That was the reason. I never took it to be my forever job. I took it because we need to have a good foundation, and I have the skill set to help, including we're looking for good board members.
So that's a good pivot because I do not need to be on one more board.
And I don't want you to be on one more board, but you have friends. And so this is the pivot for nonprofits. And this is the understanding for Overtown. We need people who want to help build. We need people who want to establish credibility and break through the glass ceiling. And we need people to make an investment. It may not be you, but you may have a friend who is committed like you, who has a little bit of time and a little bit of money.
Wants to be on the board.
Who wants to be on the board because it will help them in their professional life, but also demonstrate their capacity to help organize and structure the board for Overtown.
Okay, so now tell me about the women, only because we're out of time. So tell me about the Women's Club.
So I'm the president of the Miami Women's Club. We're celebrating 125 years. Quite obviously, I am the first African-American president in 124 years. We just had a fabulous gala.
I heard you told me about it. Where you activated that whole thing, right?
We activated the entire building. For those,
and that's where Casadonna is?
Yes.
And that, what's the other place?
Claw. K-L-A-W.
With the crabs that are...
Yes. And so the wonderful thing about that is the building is a historic property. It was on the landmark at 1974. But no one knew who the Women's Club was because they just didn't advertise, didn't market. So now you have these two fabulous restaurants, and you hear formerly the Miami Women's Club. And
but it's still
means,
the Miami Women's Club.
You formally think they're dead, they're done. Now, mind you, the membership is older. So when you say formally, that means that sounds
they all gone.
They all gone. So this past year, it's been an opportunity to reintroduce us to the world because we've quietly have done work, quietly have supported local nonprofit organizations, quietly have planted seeds. In today's economy, in today's social media world, you have to talk about what you do. And
hey, you got to yell it. You got to. It's called marketing. I heard about that. Profession.
So I'm excited to say, and on my signature line, that I'm the executive director of the Overtown Business Association and president of the Miami Women's Club. So I serve in Edgewater, but I work in Overtown.
Gotcha.
It's a hard balance, but it's all through historic.
But you built for it, boo.
But see, they didn't know that.
Well, now they know.
They're learning. They still.
I'm sure after your event, they were like, "Oh, now we met her."
Well, yes, I still feel like I'm saying over here, but I've also learned just to be quiet.
Yeah.
Because as much as you want to fit in and be a part and share what you have, everybody's not ready all the time.
Well, you know what I have learned in my 24 years is that you just have to show people sometimes. I show people, I love it when people say I can't do something. It's amusing to me. I do it once, and then I do it again, and then I take a picture of it. And that's when you could do it twice, do it first. Oh, you said I couldn't do it? No problem, I do it. Oh, you said I couldn't do it? Do it again. Because if you do it twice, it's a thing.
Okay.
And then take a picture and be like, look what I did. So
Well, on December 5th, I'm going to take a picture.
perfect.
Because in Overtown, which is Soul Basel Week, it's Art Week, Soul Basel, Art Basel.
Art of Black.
Art of Black. We're having a Harlem Renaissance flash mob.
Oh, I'm gonna come and be in your flash mob.
Thank you very much.
I cannot dance, but I'm gonna go.
Well, we're gonna teach you.
You're gonna teach me how to do a little move.
There's a little Charleston. We create the Overtown Charleston move. We did it in front of the Duns Josephine Hotel because it's the Harlem of the South Hotel. It looks right. And people said, do it again, do it again, do it again. So on Friday between 4 and 7:30, we will be at different venues throughout the historic Overtown neighborhood, taking pictures and doing a little dance.
Perfect. I'll be there taking pictures with you.
We'll be on the sidewalk. We're not in the street because I did not pull a permit. We didn't ask the police.
I could be in the street though, just so you know.
Well,
only because I'm a rule breaker.
Well, okay, as long as I don't get fined for
I know
you
you're like,
breaking
I
the
don't
rule,
know her.
I don't know that. So it's an opportunity for people to come back home. It's an opportunity for people to create content for their own use about the historic Overtown neighborhood and dance.
Who doesn't love dancing?
And one of the things that I'm working on with the OBA is we're not a business chamber. I'm gonna leave that to Eric.
He does it very well.
We are a tool with a designation that's going to teach what the business model is so people can implement it.
So how do I find the Overtown Business Association and the Women's Club?
Overtownbiz.org.
Okay,
is our website. The Women's Club, now I'm going to say, if you just Google the Women's Club, it's going to show up. Show up about 5-10 women's clubs.
Beautiful building.
It's GFWC Miami Women's Club. But for as much as I'm Googling, searching, I've probably by myself have pushed it up the ranks. We're on Facebook and Instagram.
Perfect.
Instagram is Miami Women's Club _.
Okay.
Facebook is the Miami Women's Club. We also have LinkedIn for both.
All of it.
We're working on getting better with Overtown. Now, I will say this. The Women's Club funding and things are different than it is at Overtown. And so when I communicate with people, I have 2 separate email addresses.
Okay.
When I'm communicating the Women's Club, I communicate from the Women's Club.
Gotcha.
If it's Overtown, I communicate through that email address because I don't want any conflict of interest.
Gotcha.
And so I make it clear, especially with the work that I do with working with CRAs and working with government entities. There's things that the Women's Club can do, like fund or collaborate with organizations to do things. And there's things that the Overtown Business Association wants to do.
All right, we got to wrap it up.
Wants to do.
I love you, though.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
I appreciate you coming to In the Circle with Suzanne. I don't want Miss Rachelle over there to start yelling at me, so I got to cut us both off.
I'll see you on Thursday.
I'll see you on Thursday. Thursday is the 5th.
Thursday, you're the guest speaker for the.
Oh, I am the guest speaker.
Yes, you are.
All right, I'll see you Thursday, December 4th.
Yes.